Hello and welcome back to Richmond, Yorkshire on day 4 of my northern road trip. Behind me, literally 80 metres in that direction, is the Richmond market that's here every Saturday. So I'm going to go down, pack up the motorbike and see if I can grab a coffee and a bite to eat from the market. I'll then explore Richmond a bit before heading directly west over to a place called Devil's Bridge. Beautiful old bridge, but this is one of the key biking points in the Yorkshire Dales, so I've been told. So let's go. Coffee, breakfast in Richmond, and then hitting the road again. Oh, it's a small world. Actually, I should just say that. That is a traffic warden. And I've been saved by Dave and Lou. Incredible timing. I didn't understand what this was at first. I didn't know if it was a parking ticket or the council have been incredibly nice. So it looks like I'm sweating buckets. That's because I am. I thought the council was incredibly nice and gave me a little permit, but no, that was Dave and Lou, who coincidentally were the exact couple that recommended I come to Richmond. I saw them just here, and it was the couple that I filmed walking into their shop, Neeps and Tatty's Greengrocers. That was them. I mean, it's a small world. So this is valid in a lot of different areas of Yorkshire, I think. 10 o'clock arrive time, that's what it means. They actually put it on my bike this morning and they've saved me a definite fine there because that was a warden. I've got 2 hours, probably an hour and a half in general, or in reality, to go and explore a bit of Richmond. I've been recommended by Dave and Lou to grab a coffee in Mocha. So that's exactly what I'm going to do first. Richmond has a really fascinating history. It all started with Richmond Castle behind me, where you can see the flag just above. And it is, in essence, a French town. Alan Rufus, real name, a French name, Alain Leroux. He was a Norman invader, came over to England, invaded, incredibly successful. Due to his success, he was granted the honour of Richmond, in essence meaning he could build whatever he wanted here, and he started with this, Richmond Castle. From there, everything you see in front of you and behind me was built, sprawling out to form Richmond. In his day, he amassed a fortune worth £11,000. In today's money, that would be £130 billion, making him what would probably be one of the richest humans that has ever existed. You can feel the history everywhere. To think 1,000 years of history from the Normans in this town. Spectacular. I came in yesterday as I rode down the hill to see Richmond Castle, and it is seriously imposing, sitting on top of a hill, and you have the French influence everywhere. The road down at the bottom, right near where I stayed, for example, that's called French Gate. It is literally the road leading down to the gate of the castle, where the French would have been. Oh, and I'll just show you one more quick view here. It's so imposing that almost everywhere in Richmond, you can see that main turret of the castle jutting up. While riding past it, I wanted to walk over and get a closer view of Richmond Castle. Normans didn't mess about. I can see why they built it here, up on a high hill with a river running all the way around it. It looks like it would be fairly close to impenetrable. That is what you get if you combine one of the richest men in history, so the means to build anything he wanted, with one of the most ferocious warriors. What a castle. Okay, now I really am leaving Richmond. I realised it was stupid to leave before having lunch, so went in for lunch. Very nice place. I forgot to film the actual meal because I was so hungry I'd gorged 70% of it before I realised I hadn't filmed it. But it was very nice, £11.50, great value. And I have, on a slightly negative note, lost an attachment for my Insta360, but it wouldn't be a road trip without me losing at least one thing. Here we go, 45 minutes to Devil's Bridge. Welcome to the Devil's Bridge. I didn't know if I'd see any bikers today, being the end of January and certainly not core biking season, but I've seen a good 20 or 30 bikers whizzing around the roads around here, and even here up at the top of the bridge. When I got here, there were probably a good 16 or so bikes, and they're still coming and going. I can see two GSs over there, so it is definitely a biker meeting point. I can imagine this is heaving in the summer. The bridge itself, why it got its name. Legend has it that the devil agreed to build this bridge if, on completion of building it, he was granted one soul. One person had to throw themselves off the bridge and kill themselves. But the devil was fooled when an old woman threw off a piece of bread from the bridge, and a dog jumped off the bridge to try and catch the bread, and the dog died. So technically the devil got its soul, but it was a dog's soul and not a human soul. Today, as well as being a biker meeting point, I'm told, funnily enough by a biker I met about 10 minutes ago, that it's also a popular spot to jump off. I can't remember exactly how high he said. I think he said 250 feet or so, and he's done it himself. I didn't actually realise this. I am now in Lancashire. So the Devil's Bridge is just across the Yorkshire border in the county of Lancashire, and I've come to the closest village or town to the Devil's Bridge, because I think I'll get a coffee and a bite to eat, then enjoy a couple more hours riding, and I think I may, because I'm feeling so fresh. The Transalp is so good for all scenarios that I think I'll be able to do the long motorway slog back home tonight without any real issue at all. So, need to find a tea room or a little cafe somewhere around here. Thank you. And that's the end of my Yorkshire road trip. That's been 4 days and 620 miles and an experience I'll never forget. Yorkshire is full of, and I really mean this, some of the nicest people I've ever met. They're so hospitable, so accommodating, great sense of humour. They cannot do enough for you. And the roads in the Yorkshire Dales and surrounding areas are spectacular. The scenery is unspoilt and beautiful everywhere you look. Accommodation choices are characterful and plentiful, and the food selection's great as well. And coming in the off-season on a biking trip, I wasn't really sure what to think of it, how I'd be on a multi-day English biking trip. But all I've got on are my £50 Uniqlo thermals under this and my £28 XL Moto winter gloves. Apart from that, I'm wearing the exact same gear that I'd wear in the summer. I've got my waterproofs. Maybe if the wind chill gets too bad on the motorway, I'll put those on later. But apart from the rain and the motorway up here, I haven't needed them once. Just goes to show you genuinely can have a brilliant road trip on a motorbike even in the winter. This has been one of the most fun road trips I've ever done, and it's the end of January. I would never have guessed that. The Transalp itself has been just flawless. It's been brilliant. I don't mean that from a reliability point of view. Every new bike is reliable, but I mean it's handled everything with such ease, whether it's the huge motorway slog to get up here, or the off-roading section, or whizzing around on little B lanes and going through villages, parking up, manoeuvring at slow speed. It does everything with so much ease, and so much so that I've already done 5 to 6 hours exploring today, but I have no issue at all doing the last 5 hours on the motorway to get back, because I know it will give me the comfiest ride I could possibly imagine. So if it were a lesser bike, maybe I would, maybe I'd leave it, stay the night somewhere else. But with the Transalp, I'll just head off home. Hello. Thank you everyone in Yorkshire for all of your recommendations. Thank you so much, everyone in Yorkshire, for all of your recommendations on places to go, things to see. I read all of them and I massively appreciate it. So much of what you said influenced what I did, and I really appreciate it. And I'll wrap it up there. Sun's about to set in an hour, and I cannot wait for the motorway ride back home. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching this series. Have a brilliant week, and I'll speak to you all in the next one. I just realised I did my podcast ending. Have a great week, and I will see you all in the next one from London.